Hi guys, so today I wanted to show you how it's like studying medicine in the Netherlands. Um, my vlog right now it's slightly different to my previous vlog because every other day it looks different for me. Sometimes you have a class at 11, sometimes you have it at 9, sometimes you have it at 1, sometimes you get the chance to go to the operating room at 7 or 8. So every day looks different actually. And I wasn't sure in which language I should make it because the previous vlog of mine that was in Bahasa Indonesia, and today I decided maybe I wanted to do this one in English, maybe do the next one in Dutch, and then possibly do one in Japanese, Bahasa Jawa. But then you know how you have different levels for Bahasa Jawa? You have Kromo, you have Ngoko, and I find Kromo rather difficult, so I don't know how I'm gonna make that vlog, but maybe I could try it someday. I enjoyed making it. It's fun interacting with you guys as well.
At the head of the bed. That's our Kokan karate. This is right there. Okay? So let's go through this really quick. Just a middle class approach. I have to say our residents truly have become masters of this, and I'm very proud of it. So always remember, this is a Peter's karate. It sits there. Okay, so we're looking like this right here. GSP is going to be sitting right here. All right, now we've done a lot of drilling, and this is the slide you're gonna have to really combine what I taught you last 10 minutes with this slide. Showed you at the turn from the Cochlear to the Peterson, station 2 will cross that turn, which is right here. So it all makes sense if you remember the anatomy, okay? It's station 2, okay? So that's a GSPN right here. Now, just from an anatomic standpoint, the GS and the carotid as I'm doing this drilling right here, okay? So if surgeon you are, if you don't understand the anatomy, you're going to be very uncomfortable, okay? That's the bottom line. This was a very complex case where this was an away case where I did a bypass from the Peter's carotid to here for a giant aneurysm that had previously had flow diverters in it, okay? And that's a graft right there from the Peter's carotid going to the MCA, okay? So
and everything else in between. And this is a formula that Hounsfield units are counted by. So based on the density of the material, you're going to get a different Hounsfield unit. But as you can imagine, you cannot put 2,000 numbers on an image.
So good. About today, I had a class from 11 to 12:45 about functional neurological disorder, and I find it very interesting. So these are disorders where patients experience seizures or they collapse, for example, but it's not like the typical or common presentation that they have. So it's slightly different than typical seizures, and they might have paralysis, but it's also not typical. For example, we have this case, a 35-year-old woman, and this is a made-up case, by the way. She comes to the ER with complaints of left-sided hemiparesis. So you think, okay, maybe it's a stroke on the right side of the brain, but then she also presents with slow speech, dysarthria, impaired attention. So when a patient has dysarthria, usually the lesion is in the cerebellum. So then, okay, you think this is not the typical presentation of a TIA or a stroke on the right hemisphere. So one of the differential diagnoses was actually functional neurological disorder. And from 1 to 3, I had this 2-hour course from George Washington University, and they provided like a 2-hour course about surgical anatomy and radiology skull base, and it was very interesting. I think their target is mostly for residents, but if medical students are also interested, they can also join. So that was quite leersome in Dutch. Just having my hot water now, because I always drink hot water when it's winter. And I'm gonna have a Balinese dance practice later from 4 to 6. And then probably prepare for Christmas, because it's almost Christmas and I need to get gifts for people. So I need to browse.
Kanan, kiri, cepat. Ibas dulu, ibas kanan. Buka kodanya. Letak tangannya. Agam.
I also try to read God's word every day, either in the morning or in the evening, because it's so important to realize that we can't pour from an empty cup. So just like Mother Teresa said, she said we should meditate every day to fill ourselves with God's love, and only then we can pour out to other people. I've been quite hesitant whether or not I should bring up my faith on my vlogs, because I'm not a perfect person. I don't know if I sometimes represent God well enough, and I know I made mistakes in the past, but I also realize that God's grace is so big, and He picks us up, He turns us around, and He puts our feet on solid ground. So that's why I want to bring it up. And here on Matthew chapter 17 verse 20, it said, I assure you, even if you had faith as small as a mustard seed, you could say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it would move. Nothing would be impossible. I think the Holy Bible just has so much wisdom that you can learn from and apply to your life. That's why I wanted to share it with you guys on this vlog. So stay blessed.